Ladies and gentlemen, I must admit, it's been taking almost everything out of me to pick these games, not using my heart, because after all, I am only human. I am doing my best to pick these games based on what the facts are, and the facts are, these games are rigged and scripted. The facts are, Vegas runs this, and the people at the top of the NBA do too. So I have no idea who they are picking to win this series, but I do have an idea. And I do know this game of basketball, and I do know that it's based on the opposite of what the major part of the public picks. So with that being said, as long as I don't use my feelings and I just go based on the facts, we're going to be just fine. I'm not going to pick them all right, but I'm going to be more right than I am wrong. And based on what we saw, and based on what we know, this man, Anthony Edwards, is the best player in the NBA right now. Well, we thought was. But right now, Luka Doncic has something to say about that. And if Luka keeps playing the way he's playing, he is the best player in this league, and there's nothing anyone can change my mind to say anything else. Because he is showing that he can take on any coverage. There is no coverage good enough to stop Luka. If you double him, he's going to find the right player and get an easy bucket. If you don't double him, he's going to get a bucket. If you blitz him, he's going to get through the blitz and find an open player. If you go under the screen, he's going to sink a shot. Basically, what I'm saying is this man is unstoppable. There is nothing you can do. There is no good coverage. All you can do is find the lesser of two evils to stop the brother. And let's not mention there's another guy on the other side who just so happens to be a champion in his own right. So he knows how to close games. And there's an interesting stat that I checked on Kyrie Irving. In closeout games, this brother is 14-0. So that means when the game and the series is on the line, this brother is undefeated. I did not know that. I just found that out last night. So in other words, if this goes to a Game 7, the Mavs are going to win. That's what that means. That's his MO. They've written it out for him. In closeout games, Kyrie Irving literally doesn't lose. So I really counted this brother out. I keep forgetting, if he is the number 2 guy, this is a damn good team. This team reminds me of that Cavaliers team with LeBron. Luka is playing that LeBron role. Kyrie's playing his role. And they got guys around that can help. PJ Washington is Jeff Green. You know what I'm saying? Tristan Thompson, that's basically Lively, or Gafford. That's Tristan Thompson. You understand what I'm saying? And then they got their little J.R. Smith. Who's their J.R. Smith? I guess you could say Jones is their J.R. Smith, even though he didn't hit any threes. But J.R. Smith was off and on. You could even say Tim Hardaway is the J.R. Smith. But the point I'm saying is, the way this team is constructed, it's a lot like that Cavaliers team that won the championship against the Warriors team. Don't forget that. And Luka, he damn sure can be the face of this league. He's not as outspoken as Anthony Edwards, and Anthony Edwards is way younger, so he still has time to take the face of the league. I think they want Luka to get his championship. So I think they got Jokic his last year. They probably gonna let Luka get his this year. Then they might let Tatum get his next year, and then they'll start letting Anthony Edwards get his, because by then Anthony will be 24, 25. Again, this is just what I'm thinking. I don't know what their plans are, but the plan I just laid out makes a lot of sense. You let these brothers get their championships, and let them get their shine. Good brothers that deserve it. They're all superstars in their own right, and they all deserve a championship. But I just don't know what the plans are. But I can guess. It was a very even matchup. Minnesota came out firing. I must admit, I thought they were going to have it the way they were playing. But then again, the way the NBA is, they make you think that one team has it and the other team comes back late. So I kind of knew the Mavs were going to get it late. and they kept it close the whole game. They kept letting the Mavs hang around. At halftime, they could have took a 10-point lead. Nope. They fouled Kyrie Irving on an and one, going to halftime with a 3-point lead. That's when I knew, yeah, the Mavs are winning. I didn't even watch the fourth quarter because I got to get up for work. So I left, and it was about a 2-point game, I think, end of the third quarter. And I said to myself, the Mavs are winning. And I woke up confidently knowing that it was going to happen. Because all the public was on the T-Wolves. There was so much hype around Anthony Edwards. So when it's just like the stock market, you go against the hype. You short that shit. You take the money. You take the pot. That's what you do. If everyone's on something, you wait for it to come down and you fucking short that shit. That's all you do. So with that being said, let's look at the stats. PJ, as long as PJ can drop 13 to 20 points, they're going to be just fine. They're going to be all right. As long as Jones gives them 10 to 15 points, they're going to be all right. As long as Gafford gives them a double-double, they're going to be just fine. Kyrie Irving and Luka, they both got to drop 30 every game. If they don't each drop 30 every game, they're going to lose. Mark my words, ladies and gentlemen. Those two have to equal 60 points together every game, or it's just not going to add up. Because Minnesota, what you about to see, they got a bunch of guys that can score. They didn't get much help from their bench. Lively almost had a double-double. As long as him and Gafford do their thing, they're going to be just fine. Tim Hardaway didn't even score, and he's supposed to be a shooter. They're going to need him to do something. They're going to need Green to give him a little bit more. Exum had some good defensive plays. But this looks like a good constructed team that plays well together. But Kyrie and Luka are going to have to be superstars the entire time, or it's just not going to be enough. Now, if we look down at the Timberwolves, McDaniels played his ass off, and this is 3 games in a row. Like I said, he's their Scottie Pippen. And it's not over, guys. It's going to be a long, probably a 7-game series. Anybody can win this series. It's just one game. Don't get too crazy either way. We saw Minnesota go up 2 and then go down 3 games and then win it back. So it could go any way, guys. Don't think it's over for a long shot. That was just one game we got right. This thing is not over. McDaniels gave you 24. Rudy, he needs to give you a double-double. I'd like to see him with more rebounds. Same with Carl. They both need to be over 10 rebounds. Like, what are we doing? Conley, dare I say, guys, I think Michael Conley is a liability in this series. You can't hide him. Anywhere he goes, they are attacking. I think the Mavericks figured it out. It took them a while, but they figured out we're going to set screens on whoever is guarding Mike, or whoever Mike Conley is guarding. You set screens on him, they switch, and you run and score on him on the post. That's what you got to do. If they double, you find the open man. And that's what they're doing, guys. It's working. And the Minnesota Timberwolves, they got themselves a legitimate problem. They're going to have to figure out, are we going to play without Mike Conley? Are we going to double and go under screens against Luka? I'm glad I'm not the coach and I got to figure this shit out. I'm glad I get to sit back and critique this shit, because if I had to figure out how to guard this team, Luka and Kyrie, damn, that would be such a headache, because there is no right answer. Either way you slice it, you're fucked. Same on the other side. I wouldn't want to have to figure out how to game plan against Anthony Edwards, but it looks like he had a shit game. Second shit game in a row. This time his teammates didn't do enough. And Naz Reid had a good game too. He's just a firebolt of energy. That brother is a good-ass ball player. I like the way he plays. Anderson, he did good too. You got a good young collective players, guys. This is a damn good team. Honestly, I'm going to wait till tomorrow to call out who's going to win the game. I like to sleep on it. I like to wait the day of before I make a pick. But I think this series is going to go 7 games, guys. I don't see how else it won't. I really wanted to rant, but there's nothing to rant about because it was just a good game. One team just beat the other. I'm looking at the turnovers. Let's see. Turnovers, 10 A little more than you want, but not terrible. 10 is okay. You can live with that. And then, Jesus Christ, Dallas had 13 turnovers. You don't want that many. That's way too many. That's way too many. Anything over 7 to 10 is just too many, guys. And they're lucky that didn't bite them in the ass. Free throws, they could have shot more, but that's not too bad. They shot terribly from 3, guys. But that's not going to stay like this. So really, the Mavericks really could have whooped them. If they made 12 threes, 10 threes, they whooped this team. They shot pretty well from the field. So look for the Mavs to actually play better. Now we look on this side. They made 18 3-pointers, guys. And they lost by 3. So everything has to go right for Minnesota, it seems to me. They had to make 18 3-pointers. 13 more than the opposition, guys. You can't sustain that. So I don't know. The Mavericks, they kind of just look like the more stable team, dare I say. I don't want to say they're better, but they look more stable. Jason Kidd, he's been in these types of games. He's a champion, so he knows. So I just don't know what to say. I just think Mavericks just have the slighter edge because of J. Kidd, because Kyrie's a champion. Luka, I think at this stage, is just a better player than Anthony Edwards. But if Luka's injury on the knee flares up, then Anthony gets the slight edge because of the athleticism. But as a basketball player as a whole, Luka's got the edge, guys. Let's be honest. Right now at this stage, Luka is a better player. And Kyrie is just a dog. So the Minnesota Timberwolves got their hands full. But let's pick tonight's game. It's the Pacers, Celtics. They're giving the Pacers an 8.5-point favorite. I think they learned their lesson, giving them a 13.5-point lead or favorite. First game, I thought that was outrageous. I even think 8.5 is too high, guys. Don't be surprised if the Pacers win this game, guys, because they really should have won game 1. They had all those turnovers. Like, that was just ridiculous, guys. If they can clean up those turnovers, they win this game. So I think I'm going to jump out on a limb, guys. I think I'm going to pick Indianapolis this game. I think they have some confidence. They understand how to attack this team, and they realize we got to clean up the turnovers. They should have won that game. That game was theirs. They were the better team. They looked better. They sounded better. Boston, they didn't run any goddamn plays. They were just standing around. God damn it. Jalen threw a freaking alley-oop to Tatum, and Tatum didn't even know. Because that means they aren't playing off each other. They're just taking turns. That's what that tells me. They don't run set plays. They don't know each other. And they've been playing with each other for 5-6 years. That's sad. It's really sad. You could tell Indianapolis, they have more chemistry as a team than Boston does. That's not only fair with Boston. There's always something about Boston that deters me or that stops them from being the best team and winning that championship. Hopefully, they can turn it around. Hopefully, Kristaps Porzingis can come back because I think they're going to need him. But I think the Pacers are going to get it done tonight, guys. I'm picking the Pacers tonight. If not, the Pacers are going to at least cover. I picked them to cover last game, Boston to win last game. I think tonight they're going to shock the world. I just think that something crazy is going to happen. I think they're deeper. They played 10 deep, and Boston only played 8 deep last game. I just think something weird's going to happen. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm not using my feelings at all, guys, which is why I'm picking Indianapolis this game. If I'm using my feelings, I'm picking the Celtics because on paper, and it sounds nice, everyone picks them. They won the first game. It's just the smarter thing to do. But, well, the safest. I don't know about smartest. So, we're going to go with the Pacers to cover the game, guys, and I think they're going to win in a tight game. And that's what we're going to pick. But hold on, guys. You know what? Let me take that back. I think the Pacers are going to win at home. I'm going to have Boston win this game, and the Pacers are going to cover. That's what I'm going to do. So either way, even if the Pacers win, we're right because we picked them to cover. But I think the Boston Celtics just get by. But I think the Pacers play better. I'm really torn with this game, guys. I really am. You know what? I'm giving it to the Pacers. I think the Pacers are going to get a game tonight, and then the Boston will probably get them back at home at their place. So we're gonna pick the Pacers tonight, guys. They gonna cover that. I think that's what I'm thinking, guys, and that's how we're gonna keep it, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.